Welcome to the first ever booking engine Smackdown here at eTourism Summit. So before I get into the ground rules of the Smackdown, I'm going to introduce our contestants here. We have Andrew Van Lucian, founder and CEO of Jackrabbit, Warren Gunter, Director of Business Dev at ARES, Ashwin Kamlani, President of Regatta Travel Solutions, Rick Schneider, VP of Business Dev at Priceline, and Jim Barsh, COO of Vacation Roost. So these are our 5 Smackdown contestants today. My name is Stephen Joyce. I am CEO of Resgo, a tour and activity booking platform, although I'm not in the Smackdown because I don't generally work with DMOs. So that's why it's good for me to moderate, because I know what I'm talking about, but there's no need for me to get physical. I'm also the board chair of the Open Travel Alliance. How many of you here know what the Open Travel Alliance is? Wow, I could hear cricket wings squeaking there. Yeah, the Open Travel Alliance is a nonprofit organization whose mandate is to develop and distribute and evangelize for XML standardized messaging for e-distribution of travel content. Yeah, that's interesting. So what it is, basically, if you booked an air ticket from wherever you live to come here, at some point the data that got transferred between reservation systems, that used a standard message, a structured message between those reservation systems that told the other system what you were doing. That's the messaging that we help to create and distribute and get out into the world. So all of the airlines, the GDSs, the hotel reservation systems, all those things use standard messagings to talk to each other, and it's that messaging that we are helping to foster and create. So that said, there is all kinds of potential around standardized messaging for destination content. The problem is it tends to be a little bit technical, so if you want to talk about how to not make it so technical, we can talk about that later. But I'm actually going to bring up some of this stuff with these fine gentlemen in a minute as well. So the way that the Smackdown is going to work is that each of our contestants have 5 minutes. That's it. I'm going to be a hard ass with the timing because we want to get to Q&A and get to the questions. So they're going to cover the products that they support. So whether that's hotels, tours and activities, restaurants, events, vacation rentals, airfare, whatever. Their financial model, are they a merchant model? Are they a lead generation model? Are they pushing bookings directly to suppliers? What's the scenario there? Benefits for operators, so the actual stakeholders that you work with in your destinations, what's the benefit to them by using that particular booking engine? What's the benefit to you as the destination in using their solution? Is it increased traffic to your site? Is it increased visitation? Is it more revenue? What is it? And the key differentiators. So what makes their solution different from the other people's solutions? And this is from their perspective, obviously. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they come up with. And then once we're done with those presentations, we're going to have 30-minute Q&A, and we're going to have a wireless mic. So either myself or Marla will walk around and point out questions. I also have a few questions too. So if you don't pipe up, I'm going to grill them. So let's begin with our first presentation here.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me. I'll try and get through this quickly in the 5 minutes that we've got. Jackrabbit was started in 2007. We're working with about 230 different destination marketing organizations, including cities, states, provinces, and in the Caribbean, some islands. The way our product works is we are not an online travel agent, so we are not a merchant of record. We are a search engine. So our whole goal is to turn the DMO website into a search engine because we found that's what consumers want the most. So for instance, with our hotel product, people enter dates that they want to come on your website. We show them properties that have pricing and availability on the dates that they selected. But when they click to book, instead of booking with you or a middle merchant, they're going directly to the property website and booking directly with the property. So this is sort of a list of why this model is better than what's going on with an online travel agent. So the merchant of record, instead of being a middleman, is the lodging. And what we found over millions of transactions is that the consumer prefers to book direct, so we're trying to make it so the DMO website makes that as easy as possible for the consumer. There is no inventory management. We have feeds to 200 different reservation engines, so that pretty much covers all the vacation rentals all the way up to the chains. So if they have inventory on their website, that's what we read and make available on your website. We get 100% member participation because we interface to everybody, so nobody really has to sign up. It's just something that, in our model, the DMO leases our software, and our job is to market everybody in the marketplace equally. The cost of the members is none because the DMO is leasing our software, so all of these leads come for free, and that's something that you can give as a member benefit. The lodging preferences are none, so vacation rentals are marketed equally to chains, and it's constantly rotating so that everybody's marketed fairly in the destination. Our functionality is state-of-the-art. We kind of say, you know, as a destination marketing organization website, do you want to be like Travelocity or do you want to be like Google? And I think the world is going the Google route, and I think what our technology does is let you be a part of where the world is going instead of being sort of an underfed Priceline or an underfed Travelocity. The branding strategy, you know, when I started this, my background was I was the 6th employee of Priceline, and I moved back to Santa Fe after being at Priceline for 8 years and started working with Santa Fe. And I thought to myself, you know, the DMOs as a whole, if they started looking themselves as a group and said we have a sort of a unified approach to how we treat a consumer, could actually be a bigger brand than Expedia. You know, fragmented, nobody's big enough to say that, but as a group, if it was in the consumer's mind that I go to these websites to book direct, that government tourism could be the biggest travel brand ever. So that's sort of why I started Jackrabbit and why we've been working through getting the cities and states signed up. We've compared how we convert to a Travelocity or even to a directory on a DMO site, and we have, you know, shown over millions of transactions that more people click to book direct over clicking with Travelocity, and then once they get to the hotel website, they're more likely to book than they are if you direct them over to middleman software. We've expanded over to mobile and Facebook. In addition to hotels, we have special offers. The special offers are either special offers that hotels have on their website or special offers that the DMO can load in. We also have attraction and events that works the same way. We have restaurants, which is really, we're mostly working with Open Table and facilitating having Open Table on the DMO site. Whoops, I'm sorry, clicking backwards. With Air, we're working with FairLogic, so we have the same functionality with Air. So sort of in summary, the consumer benefits are real-time rates and availability, unbiased selection, and booking directly with the property. For the lodging, they have controller pricing. They have a higher ADR because they're paying less fees. They get to have the consumer as their customer instead of giving the customer to Travelocity, so there's no fees. And then for you, you look good to all your constituents. You know, the little guy isn't complaining that he doesn't get the representation that the big guy gets. It's a state-of-the-art consumer experience. So instead of sort of being a has-been website, you're a state-of-the-art technology website, and you're working on turning these web visits that you've been building for years into real-world visitors to the constituents in your marketplace. And that's it.
Okay, so I'll try and keep this quick. Just a little bit about ARES Travel. We were started in 1995. We're based in San Diego. If you include our in-house call center, we have about 50 employees. Our largest client base has been and continues to be CVBs, so well, also DMOs, so state-run tourism organizations, chambers of commerce, and convention and visitor bureaus. So as far as the types of products that we offer, obviously we do hotels, but we also support other types of lodging properties, including bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, smaller motels. We also have a wide range of attractions, activities, tours, and event product, which we fulfill mainly through print at home media. And then of course we have connections to car rentals and airfare as well. So regarding the different booking models, we have our traditional revenue share model where we have negotiated margins and commissions with the lodging suppliers, which we revenue share back with the DMO per transaction. But secondly, we have a low-cost model. So if the DMO chooses to forego their revenue share, we can significantly lower those margins to the lodging suppliers. And then thirdly, we have a licensing model, where if the DMO wishes to pass on zero commission to the lodging community, we can charge them an annual licensing fee for the use of the booking engine. So benefits to the suppliers, in both cases for the lodgers and the attractions, there are no costs to participate. For the lodgers, there are numerous merchandising opportunities, including the deals wizards. So, the strike-through pricing, stay 2 nights, get the third night 25% off, stay 2 nights, get a spa credit, deals of that sort. We have a pretty unique industry-leading packaging solution where we really kind of combine the attraction, activity, and tour product with the local lodging, with the pre-bundled room nights. So we call that experiential packaging. And then we also have the ability to do call center exclusives. So sometimes there is, distressed inventory that the lodging partners need to, are looking to sell. And through the call center, we allow them to basically provide rates that are unpublished online that they can only get through the call center. So for those properties that we're not electronically connected to, either through the GDS or through our preferred rate programs, we have a very easy to use extranet that they can manage. That extranet is compatible with most of the major channel managers. So if they're working with other third parties, they can use that same channel manager to load the ARES extranet. And we have preferred rate programs with most all the major chains. So when we go into a new market, the lodgers don't really have to do anything outside of their normal scope of operations to participate. So the attraction suppliers, I mentioned the print at home media. We actually have the ability to import barcodes as well. So the consumer can take that e-ticket up to the gate, have it scanned. We support time ticketing. Anytime those products are sold, the attractions get supplier notifications, so they can be email, fax, or both. That includes consumer data contact information, and it also lets them know when they can expect that consumer to arrive and redeem that product. Those vouchers are custom designed, as well as the fulfillment options. We have the ability to support promo codes. We have a survey question feature, so maybe it's a wine tour with a lunch option. They can ask that consumer what type of lunch they prefer in the checkout process. I mentioned the packaging. And then we also have nonprofit donation capabilities, so it really provides the consumer the ability to round up to the nearest dollar or $5, and then those funds go into a local charity of their choice. So really, what are the key differentiators and the benefits to the DMO partner? It's a one-stop shop for all travel products. So it really just creates a nice user experience where the consumer can research, plan, and buy their trip all through a single interface, all with a single credit card transaction. So robust reporting and analytics. So along with the transactional data that you can get through the booking engine, we also carry over our client's analytics code. So you're able to measure what that client does as they go to your homepage, all the way throughout your subpages, all through the booking engine pages, and ultimately through transaction. The DMO owns all that consumer data. So the physical addresses, the email addresses, the phone numbers, per our privacy policy, all of that data is yours, and you can market back to those consumers as you see fit. Again, I'll touch on the packaging. So it's more of that experiential packaging of bringing those unique things to do in the destination, combining those with the room nights, and allowing the consumer to book through a really easy process. Visitor center solutions. So if you were to go in the visitor center here in San Francisco, you can log into any one of their number of computers and purchase any of the products I mentioned. We have a dedicated in-house branded call center, and then again our online travel advertising network, so banner ads and customizable ads within the email confirmations. So thank you.
I'm not even going to show you my booking engine because there's not enough time, so if anyone wants to see it, just look for me afterward. What I'd really like to do is make a few points here. First of all, I come from the hotel industry. I used to be the global VP of e-commerce for a hotel chain called Sol Milia Hotels and Resorts, responsible for 350 hotels, going out there looking for the right customer, bringing them in, converting them into bookings. And I started this company 3 years ago with the intention of helping DMOs do the same. I actually completely agree with Andrew that I believe DMOs are the sleeping giant. I think all the DMOs have the ability for their destination to be the strongest booking channel. So we all know that hotels are trying to reduce their dependency on OTAs. Why? Because they're very, very expensive. A lot of companies have recognized that desire on behalf of hotels and have tried to either create their own OTAs or try to compete in that space, but very unsuccessfully. Why? Because there are a few big companies that dominate that space, right? It's Expedia, Priceline, Hotels.com, you know it. So it's very difficult to break into that space because you'd have to have a huge budget to compete on a worldwide scale or even a nationwide scale. Now again, the DMOs, you have a strong, credible brand for your destination, probably the strongest. So I believe that the DMOs have the ability to compete with the OTAs and bring the same bookings to hotels at a lower cost. They've been unsuccessful. The DMOs have been unsuccessful in the past because I believe you've been lacking the right tactical marketing strategies and revenue management strategies. A lot of people incorrectly assume that the DMOs, since you have these great websites and you have all this traffic coming in, that if you just plug in a booking engine, it'll just generate all this revenue. Well, a lot of companies tried that and then they failed, and so they've changed to licensing models. Now the reason for that, and the reason we're different, is that we're not just a booking engine company. We bring in an entire online travel agency infrastructure. So when bookings are down, we're going to be hands-on with the hotels and work with them on rate parity and making deals. But most importantly, we're going to put the CVB where the customer is looking to book a hotel. What you're looking at right now is a screenshot of TripAdvisor. You look up almost any hotel in any of your destinations, and the booking options will be Expedia, Travelocity, Orbitz, Priceline, et cetera, et cetera. Notice here that one of the booking options here is Visit Seattle. This is one of the key differentiators of Regatta versus everybody else. Once we have the booking engine in place, we grab the consumer at the moment they're ready to book the hotel, and we let the CVB compete head-to-head with the OTAs. So here are the details. We work with all accommodation providers, hotels, vacation rentals, condos. We can build custom-built packages, and we're building this system in conjunction with a DMO. There's one charge on the customer's credit card, not 4 different charges. We handle all the fulfillment. We do special events, meetings, and conventions. We do mobile. And our model is very simple. There's no upfront cost. It's 8% commission on every booking. So for suppliers, the benefit is that bookings that would normally cost them 20% to 40% now cost them 8%. The CVB is now competing against the OTAs on their behalf, which with their own one hotel they wouldn't be able to do alone. Suppliers finally have their own viable channel, which is capable of doing that. Suppliers can easily monitor their performance, and we also work directly with hotels using our technology and marketing efforts to help them drive direct bookings. Actually, today we're launching our own channel management system. So a hotel can use our system not only to power the DMO site, but they can also power Expedia, Travelocity, Orbitz, and everybody else through our system. For DMOs, you can build in a revenue share. There's no minimum threshold before we'll share that revenue with you. That way, the booking engine becomes a generator of revenue for the destination, not a cost. The CVB becomes a part of the supplier's everyday business conversation. We have very in-depth reporting, all of the production. Most importantly, we've heard a lot about this today, we can track the ROI of every one of your marketing efforts. We do multi-currency and multilingual, so we just heard about that in the last session. We have Spanish, we do Mexican pesos, any currency you want, and we're 100% performance-based. Why are we different? Oh, I think I just skipped something. Oh, this is the old version. That's okay. So why are we different? We're hands-on with suppliers. We're focused on revenue management. We're very agile and willing to adapt according to your needs. We're very forward-thinking, and we're accountable for our results. Here are some of our clients. And there were 2 screenshots which I tried to upload in here earlier, but apparently they're not here. But I wanted to show you that we have very accurate and detailed production reports. We have hotels in some of our destinations where we, or the CVB, is now one of their largest producers of revenue. So just think about that for a second. From the hotel thinking about the CVB, thinking, yeah, I know they're doing a lot of things and I'm not really sure. They spend a lot of our tax dollars on marketing. Now they actually have production data from the CVB, and they're sitting in their revenue management meetings talking about how much did Expedia produce, how much did Travelocity produce, and how much did the CVB produce. That completely changes the dynamic between the hotels and the CVBs. That's it. I'm done. We're the only company here that's an alliance partner of DMAI, so thank you very much.
I'm going to give you the most slides in 5 minutes in history. I'm Rick. I was with Travelocity 10 years, started Travelocity Partner Network. I've worked with a lot of you in the past, and I'm here to give money to your marketing budgets. That's the big difference. We charge nothing, and I moved to Priceline to a company called Priceline Partner Network. And we do not connect with hotels directly. We do not sell attraction tickets. We do not load special CVB rates, and we don't charge for our technology. What we do is provide booking engines of all kinds for destinations. We display your inventory the way you want it. We use a user experience that builds your brand or a trusted brand like Priceline. We deliver destination support with live chat and live callback, and we are mobile ready, and we pay generous revenue shares to help your marketing budget. 250,000 hotels in our inventory. We're the largest hotel night supplier in the world. We own Booking.com as well. So with us, you get post-pay from Booking and prepay from Priceline. So 2 kinds of offers. 100,000 promotional rates, a conversion rate of over 3%, which is unheard of. This is our booking widget. Those are the deals we can give you. This is the booking widget. It looks just like your look and feel. They can search by all sorts of filters, from star rating, amenities, even a promotional engine. Show me hotels that are on sale on this date or have some sort of special like 4th night free. Also, all sorts of other search parameters, price, etc. So it's all here, very easy to use, hopefully in one to 4 clicks be done. Special rates here from Priceline merchant rates showing before and after pricing. Regular rates from Booking.com that convert better than GDS rates because they're all negotiated rates. Lots of pictures and photos. Mapping on our pages. It's a beautiful new interface. Also, recently browsed hotels. Support like nobody else offers in here. Live chat, live callback, and we pay the same as online bookings, which most of my competitors don't. 3 million reviews, which you can take or not take. Languages, 22 to be exact, in all major currencies. We're clearly different because we pay the same online as offline. We make no deductions out of your checks for merchant rates or that sort of thing from credit cards. You keep it all. And we pay a lot, 11 to 13.5% commission in your marketing budget. You can also charge an opaque booking fee if you like and keep half of that. 6% on Booking.com sales. We sell trip insurance to give you some more money to fund your marketing campaign. You keep half of those insurance policies that are sold. Your brand on all the confirmations that get sent out instantly. We're mobile ready at no cost to you. We can give you a Facebook booking widget to build your brand. Rental cars, you keep half of the profits. No money to get this product, by the way. Custom confirmations sent out from your destination. Flight results, you earn $3 a ticket. Dynamic packaging, air and hotel together plus car. They can go on your site and look up past bookings made. Great partner support, which unfortunately my old company kind of let go on. You call us, you'll hear back the same day. And real-time reporting, broken down by day part, and being able to compare from year over year or day over day what you did and what times of day those bookings are coming in. All password protected. That's it. What I'm here to do is basically help you in these hard economic times to beef up your marketing budgets where every time someone books, we're filling a bed in your market, but you're also getting money for your marketing fund. 11 to 13% commission. That's it. That's Priceline. Did I beat it?
Have to get the timer going so I just don't get the one there. Well, afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to introduce Vacationers to you. Many of you have never heard of us before. And so hopefully this will be a treat for you. As our name implies, we are a very vacation-centric company. Very, very focused on vacation destinations primarily. So we were asked to talk about all these great things. We'll do that a little bit. I'm not going to show you screenshots. What we kind of look at is what are the results. And in the case of DMOs, bottom line, it is more visitors, more bookings, and more things into your destinations. So how do we accomplish that? Strangely enough, on our difference, the first thing I'm going to talk about is not our technology, but our people. We don't have a call center sitting in Salt Lake or offshore or anywhere else. 100% of our agents live in the destinations. They are the destination experts. Work, live, play. We've even put them in the offices for you guys. So big difference there. Technology. Everybody up here has great booking engines. We've got one as well. We have focused so much of our efforts, though, on the CRM aspect of the system. We can do shared browsing with the customer. We have all kinds of property offers and different things which are very unique. We know if they've opened the email. We know if they've looked at the pricing on it. We know everything they've done, and we can follow that up continuously until they're booked or their needs are taken care of. Beyond hotels, we grew up in the vacation rental industry, private homes, B&Bs, non-chain hotels, some of the most difficult inventory you'll ever work with. And by the way, we're not rent by owner, it's all managed inventory. So once you've been able to master that complexity, the hotel side is a little bit easier. And let's see, no cost. You've heard that up here. Again, no cost. In fact, we are, like everybody else, a revenue source for you. And as we look at this, marketing dollars, who would like more marketing dollars? Not a lot of hands up there. That's sad. I would. So anyways, every time we make a reservation, you get a portion of the marketing dollars. More marketing dollars, you drive more demand, more visitors to your websites, and yes, that comes into more visitors. Bring up these guys again, the destination experts. So somebody's on your website, they want to talk to you. Do you have a phone number? You're open 365 days a year. We are. Chat, we're there. Book online, we're there. In many of our markets, 60 to 70% of all the reservations are being done offline. Are you missing out on that by simply having a widget on your site? Let's see, next one, market management. We work very closely with you. We look at ourselves as an extension of your marketing team. You will assign an account manager, works with you daily, weekly, whatever the case may be. Putting together the packages for your races, your activities, your events coming in, your festivals, and really working to maximize what you're spending in the marketing dollars out there. So again, very, very different model. We're very, very hands-on. Let's see, from the product features, everybody up here offers lodging, air, car, rentals, insurance, different things like that. We do as well. As I mentioned a minute ago, though, we're taking care of the other side of the equation, the private homes, the vacation rentals, that hard splodge inventory, specialty lodging we call it. I was talking with the DM more recently, 14,000 beds, half of them hotel, half of them vacation rental. Their booking solution could not handle a vacation rental. So they were missing out on half of their members' business. We can solve that other half for you and do it extremely well. From a supplier, we're very friendly. If you talk to the folks we work with, they love us. We are very low cost. We are not to hit the evil empire, Priceline, we're not as expensive as the OTAs. We have a lot of different models, and we're pretty easy to work with from that perspective. We pay everything in advance, 100%. So the supplier will always have the payments there before the customer arrives. They never have to chase us to collect the funds. On the other hand, we sometimes have to chase them. Again, we have a lot of gateway connections for lodging, for car, for air, for everything else. Very easy to work with, got a great extranet. Again, I'm not going to get into the bits and bytes and code and that kind of stuff. Booking model, we can do the merchant model, very simple, part of what we do. We can also do the agency model, where now we're chasing them to collect commissions and things like that. And packaging side, that was talked about earlier, line item packaging, opaque packaging, basically anything you want, from activities to you name it, we can do it as well. Key things, destination experts, very hands-on on what you do, very vacation destination centric. That's it. Is that fast enough?
Okay, so before I ask you guys to come up with questions, I've got one here for you. So, Jim, vacation rentals, Priceline, pretty much everything. We've got Jackrabbit and ARES. Everybody kind of covers everything, right? Everything from air, car, hotel, whatever. What would you consider to be your core expertise? If there was one vertical within that set that you really, really excel on, which one would it be? And we'll start with Jim, obviously, because yours is, I would say, pretty obvious.
Kind of obvious, yeah. I guess, do I need the mic? Okay. All right, because I can usually project pretty well. Too many years in the military. Yes, absolutely. It is the specialty lodging. It is the vacation rental. It is those type of things. As I mentioned earlier, we're all working with the professionally managed companies, which is good for your, typically your tax base versus the VRB model. we have, I would say at this point, the most direct connectivity into all those lodging companies, the property management companies. We've got about 150,000 units around the United States tied in that way. And again, we can also work with any hotel and so on and so forth. So yeah, that would be our sweet spot,
Vacation.
definitely.
So, Rick, Priceline?
Yeah, which sweet spot? Hotel, car, air, and packaging. Seriously, they all come to your market. They use all of those components. They fill beds and put money in your economy. We specialize mass market appeal in those products. And I think the big difference is we're the largest distributor of room nights worldwide because we have Priceline and we have Booking.com. So they can pay in advance or they can pay after the sale. So flexibility.
Ashwin?
Yeah, I would say our sweet spot is definitely the hotel side out of the verticals you mentioned. But again, just going back, it's not only the technology piece of how to sell the hotel, it's how to go out there and find the people that are looking to book hotels, bring them in and convert them.
Warren?
Our company actually started out as a concierge service, selling attraction, activity, tour, and event product. So that's really where our roots are. And we've kind of built our system around that as it relates to packaging and some of the other products.
So we've definitely spent the most time on the lodging interfaces. So it covers all the chains all the way down to all the vacation rental units. And then special offers from those were the second, and then events. And we kind of define events as anywhere from the rafting guy to, the museum as being our third category that we focused on.
So why couldn't a DMO then, knowing that all of you, excluding Priceline because you do everything, but the other ones all kind of have specialties, how well do you play together? Can you play together? Can a DMO say, hey, I want Vacation Roost for vacation rentals, but I want to use Regatta for hotels and ARES for tickets and attractions, and Jackrabbit to kind of help with meta search, and Priceline for air and packaging?
So if somebody was using ARES for events at SeaWorld, we could be a search engine that provides pricing availability where they could book through ARES once they search for the event on our engine.
Yeah, it's definitely happened before. So we're willing to do it if that's really what the DMO is looking to do. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would have absolutely no problem if somebody wanted to use ARES for attractions and tours and use us for the hotel side and Priceline for air. And in fact, Rick and I have talked about that quite often in terms of using Priceline for air and packages and us for the hotels and attractions.
So it isn't an all or nothing kind of scenario?
No, we're not a Hotels.com. We don't do 5-year contracts. They only use one supplier. In fact, I would probably use ARES for ticketing. You guys have a great platform. When I was at Travelocity, I was envious until we finally got it. It's a good company. And I would be happy to provide you guys with hotel inventory to resell as well. So, no, we can...
Okay, it's a Smackdown, not a love fest.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
These son of a bitches.
All right, Smackdown. Hell no, we're not going to work together. Yeah, I think there's opportunity, and we have worked with a couple different people in the past for various type of lodging or activities, different things like that. When people want to get fancy and really try to integrate everything, and they're asking, well, hey, do you have an API for this, an API for that? I want to take and build the technology on my own website. That gets dangerous. So it really kind of depends on what it is, but yeah, we play with other folks.
So that brings up a great question. Do you have APIs? And
Yes.
for what products?
Lodging-centric right now. We're adding more things, but ours is very lodging-centric.
So the alternative lodging?
Yes.
Right? So
Yeah.
for your vacation rental stuff?
Well, we can push hotel through as well.
Yeah.
And by the way, it does make more sense to work with one company because all of your reporting is consolidated in one place. It's much easier to go one place to find all of your facts. Priceline does have APIs, but don't let people steer you the wrong way. You really don't need XML. The people who promote XML are these developers that are getting $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 because they're going to spend 3 months to do it for you. Unless you're an airline or you need something very specific to give bonus miles on a booking, or you're taking inventory from multiple sources, HTML white label will save you thousands and thousands of dollars. We have it. If you want to spend 4 months, I don't recommend it unless you have a special need.
Yes, we do have APIs, and they are OTA compliant for lodging.
Yeah, I would agree with what Rick said. We do have an API for attractions. We are working on one for lodging.
So we have an API for everything because almost every DMO has a directory and they want pricing and availability in the directory. So we try and make sure that every place the consumer goes on your website is a consistent experience with what we're doing. And so that tends to be our implementation, is that we drive the booking results page on a date-driven search, and you guys use the API to get the pricing into your directory and your profile pages for all of your different members.
Okay, we've got a question here.
I'm Pat Gill from Shreveport-Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau in Northwest Louisiana. Priceline, I'm curious, you've got the Priceline.com model and the Booking.com model. Is it an either-or proposition, or can you combine both of those into a single?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, we do have name your own price available, but that isn't a co-brand. And frankly, in your situation, using a major OTA brand is not such a bad thing because it's a brand that people can trust. But to answer your question, you can't tell if it's a prepaid or if it's a Booking.com rate or a Priceline rate. It just says pay in advance or pay at the hotel. So we have both, and you can have one or the other, whatever you like.
Any other questions from the audience yet?
Hi, Kevin Francis from New Zealand, Jason Travel Media. It's more for the Booking.com, I guess, or those sorts of people. Why do they spend so much money bidding on and being specific about being able to bid on an actual specific brand name for a hotel, motel, apartment? Isn't that just really stealing a booking that might have come otherwise?
Well, I'm going to touch that one, I can tell you. Actually, we have rules. Affiliates of Priceline cannot go out, and I think you guys will agree with me, even at Travelocity where I was. Can you hear me better about this?
Yeah, but they're recording it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Our affiliates who are using our Booking.com inventory are not allowed to keyword bid on any hotel word. More importantly, as a Priceline partner, you cannot go out and bid on Marriott Central City or Holiday Inn Orlando. I can only speak for the U.S., not in this market, because it's against our supplier contracts. We would get pulled from Hilton if our affiliates were advertising keywords the Hilton Chicago. So it's a no-no, and we'll turn you off if you do it. Booking.com is a company that we bought 4 years ago in Amsterdam. I can't comment on what they do. I am in a private label affiliate side of things, so I can't comment on that. I'm sorry.
So what is the well, fair enough, So what is, based on your research, because obviously you've all done market research, what do consumers want? Are they booking direct? Do they care? Are
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll start with that one, since I'm holding the mic. So my opinion and our research is this. I believe there are two segments of customers out there. There's one customer that knows where they want to stay. Perhaps they've been to the destination before, and they're most likely going to go to Google and search for the name of that hotel, or maybe they've learned about the hotel from the famous or infamous billboard effect that we've heard about from Expedia, Travelocity, or Priceline. Then there's the other type of customer that maybe they've never been to the destination before, they're not quite sure where they want to stay, or maybe they just want to try something different. They're looking for a very easy way to search, compare different options in one destination, and book very easily on the site.
Yeah, I would say that you hear I think it's a common misconception all the time that people don't book on DMO sites. And, with our traditional model, I can say that we wouldn't be in business if that was the case. We've been around really working with DMOs since 2001. And really our belief is you're the authoritative site on the destination. You have the most unique and engaging content. And our belief is to mix in the commerce with that content.
So in Santa Fe, we spent about a year trying to figure out that consumers wanted to book direct when they went to a DMO site. We found that the consumer path was somebody do a search on Google on Santa Fe. The CVB site would be the first organically ranked site. They'd go there, they'd do a search. I put the Travelocity widget, I think I bought it from Rick, and put it on the Santa Fe CVB site. And I think 30,000 people clicked on it and used it, and we sold about $12,000 worth of hotel rooms, and it felt like something was really wrong on the conversion rate. So we started working with the hotels, and what we found the consumer was doing was going to the CVB site, doing their search, looking for the hotel they wanted, going back to Google, searching for that property, finding them and booking directly. So when we started meeting with the hotels, we spent a year working on, okay, how do we get all that traffic that's going to the Santa Fe site and make it so that they can measurably get credit for sending that business to all the local hotels. So the pricing and availability feed and the Book Direct came out of all of that research of the consumer that was going to the DMO site wanted an unbiased listing of everything there, and then they wanted to book direct with the property of their choice. So we've been obsessed with that as sort of the whole business. We said, you know, putting an OTA, or any of these I think are OTAs, on the website is not what the consumer wants. If they have to do that, they'll do it. If they can book direct easily, they'll do that every time. So for a while, we put a book with Travelocity or book direct with the hotel. We had 4 times as many clicks on the book direct with hotel and 4 times as many bookings. So it converts 16 times better, the book direct model, versus putting an OTA on the DMO website.
I believe you had clicks, but I bet you didn't have bookings. And, well, are you...
We have a tracking button embedded and we measure the conversion. So we have, you know, solid transactional data that we're booking.
I feel like the debate. I mean, who's telling the truth?
We have data.
I know, yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. You know, I got to say one thing, though. At Travelocity, I signed up 120 of you in 3 years. And I had Chicago, New York, Bahamas, Mexico Tourism Board. You'd be appalled to see how few bookings actually came through. Now, guys like you, you have a great idea. They're charging for the service, and they make their money that way, which you have to do, because poor little guys like me, we depend on bookings. I'm appalled at how badly destination sites end up converting to bookings. And you can't blame it on the OTAs. You can't. It's good inventory. It's great pricing. A lot of it comes down, and I can't speak for today, but the last 3 or 4 years of bad marketing, bad placement, not giving consumers what they want and making it easy to book. I can take you in the past couple of years to some of the biggest CVB and DMO sites, and you'll be hard-pressed to find where you can book on that site. They won't have a widget on the front page. You got to go here, then you see a list of properties, then you go here, and then maybe down here it says book there. That's why you're not booking more. I truly believe that, and not doing enough in the search engines and doing paid search.
Is the danger there that you turn, if you make it too focused on booking, that you turn your DMO site into an OTA site? I mean, are people really going to go to your site and as a DMO and choose a start date, end date, and
If you're going to offer it, you might as well reap the benefits of closing that room and getting the money for your marketing funds. What's wrong with making money and filling the bed? That's my question.
Okay, I'm actually going to disagree with everyone. Like, roll up my sleeves here. I believe that, and I think a lot of you will agree with this, DMOs have traditionally spent all of their money, or most of their money, on building awareness. So when that customer says, hey, you know what, let's go away next weekend, hopefully the money you're spending is successful in letting that customer choose you as the place to go. But what about after that? Once they've decided they want to go, then what happens? Then they say, okay, we decided we're going to San Francisco. Now, where do we want to stay? Let's go to TripAdvisor. Let's check out the different hotel options. Okay, now I've decided where I want to stay. Where am I going to book? Where is the DMO in that decision-making process? Nowhere. So that's why the TripAdvisor tool I showed you, and that's just one option. We also do that with DealBase, with TravelZoo, with Sherman's Travel, with Fodors. So that's why changing the marketing dynamic and putting the DMO in front of the consumer when they're ready to make that booking decision is the key to making this work.
I got to bring up the one nasty thing. I'm going to mention the other evil word in this room, and that's these domain squatters who have bought yourname.com or hotelsinyourcity.com. I want to tell you, they're millionaires. Half of our partners at Priceline or Travelocity or Expedia are savvy business people that bought up these names years ago. The company that Priceline bought that I work for today was doing 1,000 hotel bookings a day. Have you ever heard of hotels by city? I hadn't, but that's what they were doing because they put their focus and their marketing dollars on search. They're a click away from making that booking, and I'd rather have that booking happen on your site than some scumbag that bought that URL and won't sell it to you for your destination. I'm serious. It is the truth. You guys have got to get better in marketing and making it easy to book.
All right.
I just want to play a devil's advocate here as a DMO, because as a DMO, I've actually now worked with 3 of your products at different DMOs. And the least productive of them all was Travelocity. Horrendous. But that booking widget was exactly in the same place as the booking widget was on the 2 other companies that are sitting at that particular dais. And those particular companies did phenomenally well for the DMO because we got the commission checks every single month. So, you know, I don't think it's a matter of where we place it. I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, the clients today that are coming to our site looking at Travelocity. They may have a particular interest more to Orbitz or to Priceline, or they may be going to the hotels direct. And as a DMO, I've got to tell you, in talking to my hotel partners, even if we only give them, you know, 5 or 10 bookings, but we're doing it directly through their site, Marriott.com, they're a whole lot happier with us in some cases than sending it to an OTA where they're the least profitable of all of their GDS. So I just want to play devil's advocate saying, we as DMOs know where to place the widget. But I think it may be the company that we're placing in the spot.
And please don't take what I said wrong. What I was trying to say is I'd rather see you get the booking than some guy who's got the URL for that city saying Boise Hotels. The point is most people don't come in on that landing page where that is. They come in doing some sort of paid search and land on the hotel page itself. And that's where I think DMOs can do a better job in marketing in the search engines to help you fill more beds and do those bookings on your own site. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not being critical on necessarily where the booking widget is, but I've seen cities like New York do 3 bookings a day. Now that's astounding, I'm sorry, with the traffic that they get.
Well, and kind of building on that, a couple things that we've been seeing is, yeah, somebody comes to the website, they're looking at things, they want to know where to go shop. Either the widget's hard to find, they can't find it, they can't talk to anybody, so they go out to an OTA, they go out somewhere else, they get distracted by some shiny special or something else, they wind up not going to your destination. That's the worst thing that can happen. And that's where our philosophy is, hey, whether they want to book online, great, make it easy for them. They want to talk to somebody, actually give them an expert to talk to. You want to chat, that's great. But really meet every way that the customer wants to interact with you. And it's going to be different. If you're in a destination, take Park City, you know, yeah, you can get a hotel there, you can get any kind of thing. But it's a different type of destination than Chicago. You're going to have different booking characteristics, different type of things there. So I think there really is some differences that you need to look at.
So question for Andrew, since you're the only one up there that is not the merchant model. Am I correct? Pretty much everybody else is
We have both.
merchant and agency model.
What do you mean by agency model?
That means we don't collect
Collecting commissions afterwards.
The hotel handles the
Yeah.
transaction.
So does everybody understand the 2 terms, merchant model versus agency model?
Merchant
Yes?
model, you pay up front at time of booking, we pay the hotel and keep the difference. The other model, agency model, is versus the booking.com, you pay at the hotel then pays us a commission. That's the difference. You don't pay up front.
So prepay versus postpay. Okay, those are the 2 models. But in both cases, so in well, there are certain liability issues with both of those models. But the key here being that you are also the merchant of record on the transactions, correct?
We are, but we private brand them. I think you probably do.
No, we're not the merchants of record.
So who collects so the hotel collects the money. Okay. So in the case of Jackrabbit, you're not even touching the money.
Right.
Money
yeah.
doesn't even, transaction doesn't even come to you. You don't even see any. So who owns the customer data?
DMO.
So what do you do with the customer data? I mean, it's sitting in your database.
One foul in the affiliate business. You never touch those customers. They belong to the affiliate, always. You'd be out of business if you ever marketed to them.
CNR just belong to the hotel. And that's, you know, purely we just think it's a hotel transaction.
So from the customer perspective, if they're when they're coming to the DMO site and they're booking and they see, I'm guessing there's a powered by, is there? No? Can be or can't be, right? Is that kind of a thing you work out at the beginning? Yeah. So do you find that if it's a powered by, does that add credibility to the booking process? Does it make the customer more comfortable? Are they more likely to book if they see that the booking is powered by Priceline? Or do they, or does that interfere with the DMO brand?
Can I just ask one more question on
Yes.
the agency model, where the hotel is the customer, is the agent of record? How does the consumer fill out the information? You send them to the hotel website to fill it out, or do you let them fill it out on your site?
Filling it out on our site.
So they fill it out on your site, and you send the hotel an email
Correct.
saying this person might be coming, and when they do, you owe me some money.
No, they definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Or it's a- and-
So, but the consumer, when they're doing it, feels like it's the DMO is who they're buying it from. Right. Okay, I mean, with ours, we just pass it along, so there is no feeling of that. We just really believed any sort of being in the middle slows down the likelihood that you're going to help your hotel.
I mean, ARES really doesn't really have a B2C presence. So, we've tried the powered by logo on some, and we've had it off on other sites, and we don't really see a difference either way.
Hi, my name is Rachel May. I'm from Barclay REI, interactive agency out of Pittsburgh. I've worked with 3 out of 5 of your engines on our clients' websites. Jim, your model is a little bit different in that you have your local on-the-ground chat and call.
Yes.
What is the different engagement levels that you are seeing with that model? Because it's a little bit of a throwback. So I'm just wondering.
It is, and based on how you want to look at engagement. I mentioned in my presentation, we have some destinations which are as much as 60, 70% offline. Even though they could book 100% of the lodging in that destination online, it's a nice widget, they could buy optional activities there, you name it. In the destinations we like to be in, the person going there may not have ever been there. It may be more complex. It may just be something, hey, I'm going there on vacation, it's not a hotel in Chicago, I want to talk to an expert. So making it easy for them to talk to somebody, to chat with us, we've seen great success. And, kind of, oh, by the way, the ticket value when they talk to us is usually 2 to 2.5 times what it is that they book online by themselves. Usually
So are they asking more general questions when they're calling, or are they calling about a specific property?
Usually general. Don't really know where to stay, want this type of an environment, want to be in this type of thing, what's the best? Bring in grandma, bring in the little kids, and that's where the experts can really dive in and say, these are the places that you really need to look at. And oh, by the way, this is a restaurant I always take my kids to that's really great. You might want to check it out.
Okay, another question over here, and then we have a couple minutes left.
Okay, similarly, I work for an interactive agency, and we've worked with, like, all of you guys except for 2. Well, all of you guys except for 1. So, take it back. And so I'm really curious in terms, and this is very much like the REI question. When we, sorry, I really lost my train of thought, believe it or not. When somebody's trying to make a decision about whether or not they use your product, a DMO, yeah. Basically, what would be the reason they should not use the other product?
Ooh, that's a Smackdown question if I ever heard one. Who wants to take that one?
Depends on your budget and your relationship with your members. I would say if you're looking to generate income and fill beds at the same time and not have to outlay expense, then an OTA like us is the perfect solution for you. That's where we come in. If you're not looking to generate because you're a nonprofit and you don't want to turn those dollars back into marketing, then I think the Book Direct idea is a great idea. The ARES does pay, but they have other ways to give to charity, like he was saying, so I think that's a determination.
Okay. So, look, I think the Book Direct product is perfect for certain DMOs. This is just my opinion. I think Book Direct is perfect for a DMO that wants to put up the money up front and wants to provide a free solution to their hotels. If you have hotels that are saying, listen, I'm paying tax dollars, why should I pay a commission on a booking that comes through the DMO site? Then Book Direct is your perfect solution. Even though, and again, you'll have a chance to talk about this, but you're going to lose a lot of tracking capability. Anytime you send the customer to transact on another website, you've lost a lot of your tracking capability, because what are the chances all the hotels are going to embed a tracking widget and then be willing to share that data with you as the DMO? So, right, so that's the sacrifice, but then there are other benefits, okay? ARES. I think ARES is a great company. They're very strong on attractions. I don't know. I think I would just say us over ARES. The only benefit or advantage you would have with us is I believe that we're much more focused on proactively marketing and tactical marketing. Again, going out there and grabbing the customer at the moment they're ready to book to actually increase production. And I believe we're much more hands-on in terms of working with the hotels and market managers to drive revenue. Priceline, again, great company, no upfront cost, just like us, just like ARES, either merchant or commissionable model. But I mean, I think we all know, it's no secret in this room, that the hotels are trying to find ways to reduce their dependency on the online travel agencies. So as a DMO, to partner with an OTA, and frankly, in a lot of cases, your cities are suing those same OTAs over tax issues. So it may create some political issues for you, and the hotels may question why you're using a more expensive model for them when there are other ones available. And Vacation Roost, frankly, I don't know enough about them to answer the question. So,
I look at it as I wouldn't want to work with an ARES type product because I don't really think it is about the user interface with you guys. I think you have a lot of flexibility with the numbers of different things you can sell, but I don't think that going to your site, I don't know when the last time you guys upgraded your actual user interface. I mean, we update ours every 3 months with new features. You know, we're always trying to be on the forefront of what the consumer wants in terms of an online experience, both on the web, on mobile, and on Facebook. With Regatta, I kind of look at ARES and Regatta the same way. I just think we know that the consumer wants to book direct. We know that the lodger wants that customer to be booking directly through their website over any other thing. We don't have to do anything like have a call center because the phone number is the hotel's phone number. We don't have to do anything like have somebody in the market trying to make sure there's inventory allocated because the inventory is their inventory. We don't need to pay attention to that. So there's a lot of labor that happens with an ARES or a Regatta that, Priceline phased out a long time ago just because of the volume, that you get a lot of hands-on with ARES in your market, but with our model, I don't think that that's necessary. And the reason why we charge for it is we have a whole model where we can have the hotels pay for it, and there's lots of you guys that are under that model, and we phased that out because the chains had no problem putting the tracking bugs in, but the little guy has a lot of problem with that. They break all the time, so we're spending all of our time billing the little guy and him being unhappy instead of working on the consumer front end, which I think is what you guys want. You want to look awesome to the consumer. And the only way I can do that as a company is if you pay me, and then my job is to make sure all the people in your market get, equal representation in the way that the consumer wants to see it.
Before we leave, I just want to thank Andrew, Warren, Ashwin, Jim, and Rick. Oh, I didn't have my little notepad with me. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate the time.